of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine. It's a place I love best, 'cause it's better than the rest. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. There's lights that burn so brightly, in the northeast sky they shine. From the place that Geordies worship, where legends wear number 9. You can travel right round the world, even meet the Pope in Rome. But nothing beats the feeling that when you come back here to home. No matter how life changes, we'll never be far apart. The northeast always home, and it's always in your heart. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to an early transfer talk. So before I get into the show, guys, if you like what you see, please hit the like button. It really does help the channel up the search results, so please smash the likes. Thank you very much. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, then please hit the subscribe button. It's free to do so, helps the channel grow, and bell notification tells you when I'm live, having a pre-record or any upcoming shows. Currently at 316 subscribers, so on the next target is 350. So thank you very much indeed, guys. So yeah, basically it's an early morning transfer talk. I'm off work today and tomorrow. Should anything official break during the day from the club, then I'll bring it straight to you as soon as we know anything. But yeah, as I say, these are just rumours still. Nobody's actually signed. There's no concrete signing yet. But it's still players who are continually being linked with the club. And while I linked, we may as well just talk about them and get everybody's thoughts on these players as well, because, you know, like I say, it's all rumours until they're actually standing at St James's Park with a black and white shirt on. That's when you know it's official, or the club announce it officially on their website. So I just want to reiterate, these are just rumours and not concrete that they have signed at the moment. But yeah, guys, I mean, according to Sky Sports last night, they were saying that apparently we're still having talks with Everton over Anthony Gordon. Now, they're saying over a £40 million move. So, I mean, 40 million for Anthony Gordon. Is it expensive? Yes, it's a lot of money. Is he worth it, though? That's the thing. Is he worth 40 million? Maybe it's a deal with add-ons, so maybe that makes up to the 40 million mark. We don't know the ins and outs of how the fee structured out and that, so we don't know what the initial fee is with add-ons, maybe. So, I mean, Anthony Gordon, right? I mean, let's look at him. Let's talk about Anthony Gordon. I mean, what can we say positive about Anthony Gordon? Well, I'll tell you what could be positive about Anthony Gordon is he's full of energy. Our high pressing and intensity game, this guy could do well for us. Now, under Frank Lampard, was he being coached well? In my opinion, I don't think so. And this is my opinion. I don't think Frank Lampard's a great coach, a great motivator. Yes, he got Everton to stay up last season. I think he was quite lucky. But he's been found out again, Lampard. He's not a Premier League manager. We know that. But Anthony Gordon hasn't hit the heights this season as he hit last season. But if he came to Newcastle, I certainly do believe Eddie Howe would get the best out of this guy. But not only get the best out of this guy, I think Eddie Howe could get an extra 20 to 30% out of this guy as well. And that would push it on even further. But I seriously do think, you know, if Anthony Gordon comes to the club, yes, we'll back him 100%. And I think under the right coaching, we could have one hell of a gem on our hands. We could have one hell of a player on our hands. And that's what it's down to. It's just coaching methods. And as I say, Lampard is no coach. He's not a great coach. Eddie Howe is much better. He's proved how much better than Lampard Eddie Howe is. And remember, Frank Lampard managed at Chelsea. Yes, he got lucky in that first season when they were on the transfer ban because they couldn't sign players. And he had the youngsters that he had on loan at Derby, like of Tomori, who's now at AC Milan and one of the best centre-backs in Italian football. He had Mason Mount. So he had those nucleus of players there, those youngsters who he could draw their experience on from Derby and bring them into the Premier League. So that sort of helped him develop that season. But then he was found out the season after and he got sacked. Everton was not really his level because Frank Lampard's level is more bottom end of the Premier League or Championship. He's certainly not a high-end Premier League manager. So we just thought on that one. But Anthony Gordon, I think if he comes in, that makes sense. But we'll see what happens. We await developments. This could all fall through. Who knows? We don't know what's happening. But what we do know is Everton's a club in turmoil at the moment and a lot of mess. So we wait and see with anticipation if this one comes off or not. According to some papers, £60 million the fee Everton want, and we're unwilling to pay that. Last saying we could be looking at Hakim Ziyech, who's 29, as an alternative to Gordon. Me personally, I don't think that deal would happen anyway, in my opinion, because if you look at the model the owners are going down, we are not going out our way to buy players at 29. Yes, I know we bought Burn when he was 29. Burn 29. We bought Ward 30. But that was a different story last season because we had to. I mean, Kieran Trippier as well, he's 30, 31. So, we had to buy these players at that time because we needed experience and we needed to stay in the league. But Burn and Trippier are still class players, and that's the thing. They're both class players. Wood did a job for us, and now he's gone to Nottingham Forest on loan. We wish him all the best at Nottingham Forest and hope he plays the games and gets the... and gets to stay at Forest, and we get a £15 million fee, so that's not too bad on that one. But now we are looking at the younger generation of players, and players who can be here for years upon years and help us build a strong team. I mean, the thing is, there's still paper talk going around about this guy. He could still be a possibility in January this year. To me, I would say this is probably more of a summer signing, if I'm honest. He's only just come back from injury, or supposed injury anyway. We don't know how true that is. I mean, if we got this guy over the line, yes, it would be fantastic. It would be a great signing. But I'm more looking, the fact is, I think we'll go back for him in the summer because then he'll only have 12 months left on his contract. And it'll be squeaky bum time for Leicester. And so I'm not saying we'll not rule it out that he comes in this month, but I think it's more of a summer move. I mean, what are you guys thinking? Do you think Maddison will come this month, or do you think that's a summer move? So I personally think a summer move. That's for sure. But yeah, I mean, he continues to be linked to the club as well. Also, I mean, this has gone a bit quiet on this guy, Moussa Diaby. We've not heard a lot more about Moussa Diaby at the moment. Again, if Everton wants £60 million, as it's been reported, I would rather go and shell out £60 million on this guy than Anthony Gordon, in all honesty. And that's not me knocking Gordon for anything other than this guy, I think, oozes class, Moussa Diaby. And I think if Everton wants 60 million for Gordon, I'd rather give the 60 million to Leverkusen and say, there you go, we'll take Diaby off your hands right now. Again, this will be a class signing. Whether he comes this month, we don't know. But the one thing you get sick of seeing on social media is fans are panicking. Oh, we're not going to get anybody. Nobody's going to come in. The transfer window's nearly closing. No, there's 5 days left of the transfer window. It shuts 11 p.m. on the 31st of January on the night we play Southampton in the second leg. So don't panic, guys, because deals can be done very, very quickly. That is the thing. It's amazing how quick a deal can go through. I mean, yes, they're saying Anthony Gordon could go back to Everton's training ground today and be training again. He could be on the training ground half an hour and they could say, hang on, off you come, mate. You got to go to Newcastle. You're going for a medical. And that's how quick things can quickly change. And he can be in Newcastle in a couple of hours. So it's, things can change rather quickly. If you're buying a player from abroad, it's quite easy to get a private jet out there and get them picked up and bring them over. So deals can be done pretty quick. We've seen it on transfer deadline day, how quick you can get a deal through. So, yeah, you can get it through in hours. Leslie says, morning, Tony. Morning, Leslie. Hope you're well. But, yeah, I mean, so that's another deal that could Diaby come this window? I'm not sure. Like I say, it's all speculation at the moment until they actually arrive at the club. One thing for sure, I think this guy's a no-go. Fresneda. It's looking increasingly likely they're saying Arsenal Dortmund, but there's reports saying he's injured as well, so I don't know what's happening on that score. It's a shame we've missed out on Fresneda. I think he's a cracking player, but, there's other targets we can get, and again, we shall wait and see on that one, but looks like Fresneda is a no-go. I mean, apparently we're still keeping eyes on this guy, on his, his contract. His contracts, like Maddison's, come the summer, only has 12 months left. I think he'd be cracking at defensive midfield. I rate this guy highly. Ruben Neves, I think he's a great player. He could become an absolute legend at Newcastle. Again, it's one we just have to wait and see. And just see what happens. But we wait and see. Another one we're looking at, we're trying to get a deal for, is this young man, Harrison Ashby, right back for West Ham. Again, another terrific talent. West Ham obviously don't want to lose him. He's out of contract in the summer. It's just whether West Ham will push and let us take him in this window again. He'd be great cover for Trippier at right back. He has played in the Premier League for West Ham. I think all be substitute appearances, but he has come on for West Ham. Played in the Carabao Cup. So yeah, another one that would be a signing for the future as well. And again, another youngster coming into the club, which you can see where the club's going on that, because that's the thing. You want to buy youngsters or younger players. It's all right going out there and keep buying like 30-year-olds or 31-year-olds because they're only going to have a couple of years left in them, where somebody at 21, 22, or even 25, they've still got at least 7 or 8 years in them. And, from like 25, but at 21, they've got like 10 years or whatever ahead of them. So that's the way to go on, on getting players of that age, and that's where the club's going at the moment, and let's hope that's the case and it continues that way at Project Youth. On an outgoing, very, very close apparently, is this guy, Karl Darlow, very close to a move to Hull City. Was rumoured Huddersfield Town were taking Karl Darlow, but now looks like Hull City stolen the march. So the Tigers have stolen the march on Huddersfield Town, the Terriers. So yeah, Karl Darlow on his way to Hull City, maybe. Good move for Darlow. I think, yes, he's had some criticism, but you know what? Let's not get away from the fact he has been a good goalkeeper for us. He has done well in games when he's come in. We all know the guy got bruised. He had a terrific start for us when Dubravka was out injured. And then once Dubravka was fit, instead of Bruce giving him telling him face to face, he texted him a message saying, "You're not in the team now. You're out. You're back on the bench." I mean, and I think that destroyed his confidence after that. because he was in terrific form for us. There was even touts of an England call-up at one stage. But yeah, he got bruised and his career has just dropped. So we wish Carl Darlow all the best if he goes to Hull City, and I'm sure he'll do very well for them in the Championship, because he still is a quality keeper at the end of the day, and he deserves first team action. And I think Hull City would be the great place for Carl Darlow. So yeah, we wish him all the best if he ends up at Hull City. William says, "Morning, Tony." Morning, William. Yeah, sorry you missed the show last night with Chris Dobie, but that was a cracking show. If you haven't seen it, guys, catch it up. Really good show with Chris on there. An insight into his darts and obviously his passion, which is Newcastle United, season ticket holder. And yeah, he's had a marathon 24 hours because he's went from Southampton and straight up to Milton Keynes because he's got a tour starting tomorrow. And yeah, so if you're into your darts, then Chris Dobie will be on ITV4 tomorrow at Milton Keynes. So yeah, make sure you grab and watch that one. Joe Litton, I still haven't felt asleep. Yeah, I think we're all still on a high from Tuesday. I mean, what a fantastic result. I mean, yes, I can see a lot of fans are saying, "Oh, we're there," but we're not really, are we yet? Because we're only 1-0 and there's still 90 minutes to play. But I believe we'll finish the job at St James's anyway. And I think the best thing we can do is if on Tuesday is grab an early goal, because Southampton will have to come out and play. Because if they want to get back in this game, they're going to have to come out and they're going to start leaving gaps, and we'll exploit them, and we could run right over them, hopefully. But yeah, we shall see. But I still think we'll get the job done on Tuesday and we'll be in that final. And it looks like we'll be playing Man United because they went out and beat Forest 3-0 last night. Very surprised the way they beat Forest. I thought Forest would have, put more of a fight. I thought they would have won that because at the City ground they've been quite good. But yeah, other than that, other than a miracle at Old Trafford, I think it's a Man United final with us. But I mean, and then you see somebody puts on Twitter this morning, some idiot from Manchester, and he says, "Look, Man United could be in the Carabao Cup final with Newcastle." And he says, but it'll be all right for Newcastle because they'll have had 7 days rest because Man U's got to play a grueling game against Barcelona on the Thursday and then got a final 3 days later. And I just sort of thought, do you know what? It doesn't matter. That's the problem. You're in Europe. You're on a Thursday night game. It's just unfortunate that the cup final's on a Sunday. I just really hope it's a 0-0. I hope it's a draw. I hope it was 0-0 at the Nou Camp, 0-0 at Old Trafford, and hope it goes to extra time, penalties, go the whole hog, and really, really tire them out. And I hope it's a grueling game for Man United, because that will tire their players out. So we shall see. He says, knackered leg. He says, I think we shouldn't waste the money on Gordon, in all honesty. Yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, yeah, we shouldn't. But there again, obviously, Eddie must see something in him that he thinks, do you know what, I can improve this guy's game. And that's the thing. It's whatever Eddie sees in Anthony Gordon. He must see something in him, or else we wouldn't be pursuing him. But like I said earlier on, in all honesty, if Everton wants 60 million for him, I would say no to that. And I'll go to Leverkusen and say, I'd rather give you the 60 million, take Diaby, because Diaby all day would be a better idea than Anthony Gordon, in my opinion. And especially at 60 million. He says, we need 4 players for depth and options on the pitch too. Yeah, we do. And there's no doubt the club are pushing hard to get deals through. It's just some clubs are probably playing a bit hardball, or we maybe not putting the right prices in for them. But transfer window can throw up all sorts of things. And even this late in the window now, deals can be done because clubs may think, oh, actually, we could do with the money. Actually, we'll just sell, and in desperation. So we'll just wait and see on that one. I mean, another interesting thing that was coming out in the in the news as well was the fact of Matthias França. So again, according to Fabrizio Romano, we've offered Flamengo £14 million for this guy, which has been rejected apparently because Flamengo wants 17 million for this guy. So there's a difference of 3 million. So why is there a difference of 3 million? Is our club just trying to get him cheaper, or is there something there that the club are thinking, well, he's not worth 17, but he's definitely worth 40? Somewhere along the line, the valuations are not matching, and hopefully the clubs can come into some sort of agreement with him and get this guy over the line. I mean, he's 18-year-old, fantastic prospect. So we shall see. But there's also talk that Flamengo don't want it in instalments, they want it up front, which Newcastle are prepared to do, pay it up front so they can get this player over the line. Again, I think it's a great sign, another signing for the future. But not only just for the future, he could actually be in the first team as well. And considering he's 18, he doesn't have to go in that 25-man squad either. So you get around that. Maybe that's why we're looking at younger players to get around the squad list, which, do you know what? This is what I'm saying. This ownership are very, very clever at what they're doing. And this is indeed what we're shown, where you get the likes of Chelsea. Just think everybody that can see, they can buy. And it's like, it's just ridiculous what Chelsea are doing. They're just trying to buy their way back into the Champions League. And yet we're being accused of buying our way up the league. Well, sorry, no, we are not buying our way up the league, because look at what we've bought, the players we've brought in. Yes, Isak cost 63 million, well, 58 plus the 5 million add-ons. That's the highest fee we've paid for a player. But other ones, Bruno, 40 million euros. Botman, 35 million euros. So for them to come out and say that we're spending high amounts of money, we're not. We're not going out there and spend £100 million on Mudryk. You know, it's just, honestly, it's beggars belief the way that some media, like of TalkSport and that, keep going on about how we're spending our way up the league. They really, really need to do their research and look at other clubs and see how much they're spending. And then come back to us and say, actually, we got it wrong. Yes, you haven't spent an awful lot of money. We've only spent over 200 odd million, and look where we are. Look what Chelsea spent. They've spent nearly £500 million. They've spent nearly 500 million. And look where they are. They're 10th in the Premier League, 10 points behind us. So people out there who are slating us for trying to buy our way to success really need to take a long, hard look at themselves and give their heads a bloody wobble. William says Gordon could be a luxury player who fills in on some days. Yeah, could be. You could be right on that one. I mean, again, we just have to wait and see what happens. But hopefully, we start getting some players coming through the door. I'm not panicking because, but like I say, we've still got 5 days yet and still a long way to go. And remember, the key thing is we've got no FA Cup games this weekend. So we've got no football this weekend. So we got time to get deals in over the weekend. So, yeah, we watch the space. Joe Linton, imagine if Bruno and Trippier get injured. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the worry. And I think the owners will probably be, that's why I think they're looking at this. They're trying to get a midfielder in. They're trying to get in. We're still looking for a number 6, apparently, according to media as well. And this guy keeps coming up, Edson Alvarez. Apparently, we're still looking at trying to sort a deal out for this guy. Again, that's just media talk. Is it going to happen? Don't know. But if it does, fantastic signing. 25, fits the bill, do the job, outstanding player. Can also fill in the centre back as well, because he's started off as a centre back in his career. So this guy's got it all, you know. But if you want terms of age-wise, this guy, Corney, I think he's a terrific defensive midfielder. He certainly fits the bill, 21-year-old. But there's a lot of clubs looking at him as well. So, yeah, we just have to wait and see on that one. Says plus we haven't got a backup winger of quality. No, again, that's why I'm saying maybe Diaby comes into that, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. William says, work calls I'm off. Lads, enjoy your morning. Thank you very much, William. Yeah, see you later, mate. I am going to come up back with a more in-depth transfer show later. This was just a short one this morning, just to go through the gossip of what's being said. Joe Litton says, but what the owners need to realise is when we get Europe next year, we need extra 10 players too. Yeah, definitely. If we're in the Champions League, we're going to have to buy quality in. And I know we keep talking about the owners, or the club keeps saying about the wage structure. They don't upset players, but I'm sorry, when you start bringing quality players in, you've got to break the wage structure. And that wage structure is going to have to start being broken at some point. And players are going to have to accept this, because that's what it is. When you're a club moving on up and you're a project and you want to be at the top of the tree, you've got to start paying big bucks for these quality players. And players in the dressing room, are going to have to get used to that fact and realise that this is now no longer a club that's flirting around the relegation zone or around the bottom end of the Premier League. This is a club in the top end of the Premier League at the business end, a club that wants to win trophies, a club that wants to win the FA Cup, the League Cup, the Premier League, the Champions League, even the European Super Cup, UEFA Super Cup, and FIFA Club World, so it's all there. We are a project, and yes, while we're just starting out on this project, it is going to get bigger and bigger, and yeah. You're absolutely right there, Joe Linton. Absolutely right, mate. But yeah, in terms of transfers, we just have to, as I say, wait and see what happens. And but like I say, we'll keep the faith, guys, because at the end of the day, we could have somebody coming in. Who knows? We could have somebody coming in today, tomorrow, or whatever. But as I say, anybody that comes in, I will certainly come back with any news. So as soon as we know anything that's happening, if there's anybody coming into the club, somebody turns up for a medical maybe, or then I go back to St James's saying, I'll bring that to you as soon as we know anything. Once we hear things officially from either the club or we see something on Sky Sports News. But yeah, guys, anybody who does sign, whether it's today, tomorrow, whatever, I will bring it straight to you. I've been asked, am I doing a transfer deadline show? On Tuesday, obviously, the game's on. But what I have said is probably after the game finishes, I'll be doing a reaction. So I'll do a reaction and a live transfer blog till the end of the deadline as well, when Slam's shut at 11 p.m. So, yeah, I will sort of do something like that. But, yeah, in terms of anything other than that, I can't do any other more than that. But it's just a shame. It's just such low that we happen to be playing on the same day as the window shuts, and it's one of those things, isn't it? Joe Litton says, because imagine extra games in Europe with Murphy and Lewis playing. Yeah, I don't think, to be fair, I'd be surprised if Lewis is still here next season. Murphy, I'm not sure, because he's got a long contract, and that's the problem. Former owner giving long contracts out and stupid wages is crippling this club because we can't get rid of players. Joe Litton, don't want to do West Ham though and get many in. I'd say 4 this window and 4 next window. Yeah, that's doable. I always said 3 maybe this window, but yeah, 4's doable. It all depends on what clubs want to do. I mean, again, it's a Chelsea thing. Chelsea have now stepped up interest in 21-year-old Everton midfielder Amadou Onana, instead of going for Enzo Fernandez. I mean, it's, Chelsea again are just going out to buy players. They're ready to compete with Liverpool to sign Wolves' Portugal midfielder as well, Matheus Nunes. I mean, Chelsea are just sort of wanting to buy everybody's players. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Everybody's targets, and then Chelsea straight in there, you know. But yeah, I mean, other than that, there's no other, you know, transfer news at the moment. But as I say, as soon as we know more, we will bring it to you. And if anybody signs, then yeah, I'll definitely be straight on and I'll bring that to you live. And once we know, but until then, it's all rumours, I'm afraid, guys. At the moment, you know, nothing's set in stone at the moment until they're over the line, until they're in St James's Park with the black and white shirt on, parading the new signings. So we wait and see. Surely Pulisic would be under 50 million, would help us with a fan base, USA fan base, FFP, and better than Gordon. Yeah, Pulisic would, but I think he's injured at the moment, so I don't think that's a goer at the moment. I think Pulisic is not one to come through the door at this time, but maybe again that could be a summer move. But he has got his injury problems, hasn't he, Pulisic? But on his day, he's a cracking player, and without a doubt, yes, I would have Pulisic. I would have Hakim Ziyech, but I just think at 29, the owners just don't want to go down that road of bringing a player of that age in. Apparently Everton are wanting them. This is why Everton's in a mess, because they're going out buying players. I mean, I'm not saying for 1 minute Ziyech is a poor player, because I think he's a cracking player. But I don't think you'd go to Everton, in all honesty. I think that would be a bad move if he went there. I mean, Everton have just spent poorly in the past. They're trying to get Bielsa over the line as well as manager, and they won't offer Bielsa £11 million a year. No wonder Everton's in a mess. But Bielsa apparently is not really keen on the Everton job. And who could blame him? Why would you want to go there with that toxic fan base? I mean, you've seen the way they've gone on with their players. Any manager who's seen that's probably looked at that and thought, I wouldn't even touch Everton with a barge pole. I'd be very surprised who they get in. But that's their problem. Let them get on with it. But I would love to see Everton go down, because I think they really need to go down to sort themselves out as a football club, in all honesty. And it would probably it would probably help them out, if I'm honest. But guys, if you like what you see, please smash the like button. It really does help the channel up the search results. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. It's free to do so. Helps the channel grow. And bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows. So thank you very much indeed. Yeah. So as I say, guys, I'll be back later with a full transfer show roundup. He says, do you want to know one thing I can't stand? Yeah, what's that, mate? But yeah, I'll be back with a full transfer show later. This was just a short morning transfer talk of what's been said in the news this morning. Nothing's changed. We haven't got any through the door yet. It's all rumours until somebody comes in. But like I say, later on, I'll put out there'll be a full transfer show, and you will be notified if you've smashed that bell button. Leslie says, thanks, Tony. Thanks, Leslie. And yeah, guys, I mean, yeah, it's been great to come on this morning, do this little half-hour show. I'd normally be at work, but I'm on a couple of days holiday, so we'll wait and see on that. And as I say, anything breaks during the day, then you'll hear it here first, without a shadow of a doubt. The reason I took a couple of days holiday out, well, I was taking today off anyway, because I was trying to book ticket. I was going to book tickets today for the Brighton game, but now that's been called. Now the ticket thing has been called down. Well, they've suspended it because, obviously the Carabao Cup, because the final if we're in the final, that'll be on the Sunday. And I thought, well, rather than going back to work on the Friday, may as well have a holiday and so have a long weekend. So that's why I've took it off, and because I found that out this morning, I just thought I'm not going to work. I'll just keep me holidays. I'll just have me nice rest of the weekend and go back refreshed on Monday. And Joe Linton, do you know what? I can't. Yeah, what's that, mate? I mean, as I say, there is some people out there on Twitter and that who go out there thinking they're in the nose, and You know, they put all this stuff out. Oh, this player's coming, that player's coming. I take no notice of that. I wouldn't even put myself in that position, because why do you want to make yourself look stupid? Don't make yourself look stupid by going on there and saying, oh, this player's coming in, that player's coming in. There's plenty of them on there. I mean, you know, I could name a few people on there. You know, and there's one guy in particular who does a lot of it on Twitter, and even took his Twitter off for a while. But yeah, there's too many in the nose out there, and to be honest, they don't know more than what I know or anybody else knows, because the club keep all leaks quiet. And Joe Linton says, London Man U fans and London Liverpool fans are glory hunters. Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree, mate. I mean, you look at Man United's, and, you know, is that why they're going to expand Manchester Airport? Because they want to bring more fans in. I'll be surprised how many fans at Man United are local. You know, I'd love to know, but the rest of them are from around the world or from London or whatever. And yeah, I totally understand that. Yes, I live in Suffolk. I've lived down here for over 10 years now, 11 years this year. But I was born in Newcastle, and I lived for 40 years in Newcastle before I moved down here. So I'm Geordie through and through. And at least I can say I support my local team. You know, I mean, living down here, I've seen fans from like Cambridge now who are supporting Man U, and I'm like, why do you support Man United? What's wrong with Cambridge? Or what's wrong with Ipswich down the road? You know, it's like, why don't you support your local teams? I don't understand that one, but, you know, who knows? But anyway, guys, like I say, I'm back later on with a more full roundup transfer show. And if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe. It really is free to do so, and bell tells you when I'm live. Also, hitting the like button really helps the channel up the search results and makes it found more easily for anybody who hasn't come across my channel. And he says, yes, exactly. Yeah, thanks very much indeed. So yeah, guys, I will be back with a bigger roundup transfer show later on. But as I say, in the meantime, anything breaks during the day, you will hear it here first. But have an amazing day, whatever you're doing, guys. And thank you for watching. And I will catch you later on. So for now, it's bye-bye from me. Bye-bye.